It was dark out, after midnight. Eric decided that it was the best time to slip away. His satchel was loaded with handmade goods. They sell well in town. He was hoping it would be enough. Weeks of planning came together as he carefully tiptoed down the hall, avoiding the squeaky boards and furniture. The stairs came next. They were trickier. Many of them squeaked. So he was especially careful. Avoiding the banister, he hugged the wall. Downstairs was easy. The floor made from concrete, it did not squeak at all. Making it to the back door, Eric slowly opened it. It only made noise if you move it quickly. Soon he was outside, in the sweet night air. He broke into a run, but it didn't last long, the asthma soon forcing him to stop and take a puff of his inhaler. After a few moments' rest, he began the 2-hour walk into town, to civilization and freedom from the shackles of illness. It's not that he didn't love his family, even the community at large, but the rest of the earth and beyond had no illness or death. They never knew how asthma feels, or what it's like to live with an atrial septal defect. Eric didn't want his community's mistrust of modern technology to result in his own death, so he had to leave. He frequently glanced back at the dark buildings, keeping an eye out for signs that he had been spotted, but partly to remember this place. He could never come back, not once he had a new body. Eventually, the innumerable ferns blocked out every sign of the buildings. He couldn't risk walking on the road, so he was going through the forest. Many of the other children play out in the forest, but his health had prevented him from walking it before. It wasn't long after he lost sight of them when his asthma forced him to stop again. Taking another deep draw from its plastic lips, his heart pounding as well. So he had to sit for almost a half hour before he had the strength to travel onward. The sound of owls and crickets filled the forest, giving him the opportunity to experience a part of life his illness had previously prevented. So the time passed quickly, Eric feeling his strength return and attributing it to the forest's beauty. He decided that he wanted to live in, or at least near, a forest. Back on his feet, Eric started to walk again, weaving among trees and their roots, so that he didn't have to do any climbing. He would love to climb trees, like other kids do, but he couldn't afford to fall. Not now. But when his body is new, he'll be able to climb trees, jump over buildings, maybe even fly. Another 40 minutes of walking put him into the deep forest. Trees were closer together, and Eric had no choice but to clamber over roots and fallen branches, soon wheezing in the night air. A fallen log became his next rest stop. Laying back on the log, he could see the stars above. He'd be able to visit them when he had a new body. He could sail out into the stars. Eric woke with a start, having drifted to sleep on the log. It had started to rain, fat blobs of water striking the leaves above, scattering a fine spray among the branches and down to the forest floor. Getting to his feet, Eric looked around, unsure of which way he was going. The falling rain and darkened sky had made it difficult to see clearly, his glasses fogging from his own breath, which he realized was becoming labored again. 2 puffs of the inhaler were enough to settle it again, but he was lost now, the rain getting heavier. He pulled his hood up and fished a pair of gloves from his pocket. After dressing for the rain, Eric rummaged through the bag, retrieving a lamp from it, though it took longer still to find the matches. After a few minutes of struggling, the lamp was lit, faintly illuminating the dense foliage with a flickering red glow. The forest had been beautiful when the stars were out, the moon's light bathing it in a soft silver glow. But the lamp drew an entirely different picture. Every hoot became a source of fear. The ever-changing light of the lamp made shadows dance around him. It was even harder to tell which way he should go. He faintly recalled that the log was in his way before. He had clambered over it before taking his nap. But which side was he on now? Looking at the log, he decided that he should climb it again and head that way. Scuffs and loose bark on its side made him sure that was the side he climbed before, he hoped. Clambering over it again forced him to stop and draw another puff of his inhaler before walking into the unwelcoming dark beyond. It was slow, carefully negotiating the gloom and roots. He moved slowly, fearful of a fall or worse. It would not do to die before becoming immortal. 2 years ago, he had seen an immortal die in town. An accident, of course. They were crushed when an old wall fell, but they were fine again just an hour later, coming back to the market to finish shopping. Father had told him that they don't have souls, but to Eric, they seemed to be just like everyone in the community. They just have superpowers and live forever. For what seemed like hours, he clambered through the trees, unsure if he was going in the right direction, frequently taking a breath from his inhaler. The rain had only grown heavier. It was now pounding through the leaves, silencing the owls and crickets. Only the rain could be heard now. The ground was muddy from the downpour, soon causing Eric to slip, landing face first on the ground. The lantern flame died away, laying on its side. Mud was seeping through the gaps. Clambering to his feet and retrieving the lamp, he shook out mud and grabbed the matches again. Striking matches in the downpour was difficult. Their heads soon soaked. With the tree in front and his jacket pulled round, he was finally able to strike a match, but the wick was muddy. No chance of getting it working again tonight. The last of the match flame faded to smoke, briefly bathing him in darkness, when a silvery glow spread around him. His first thought was the moon. Raising his head up to look at the sky, but the downpour continued. The glow was coming from behind him. Eric spun round, putting his back to the tree, but the source of light was nothing to fear. It was a girl, somewhere around his age, but with immortals, who knows? Not one drop of rain was striking her. Leaves above were deflecting them away, so that none landed within a meter. She was the source of the light, her skin shining with a beautiful silver radiance of the full moon. With a wave of her hand, the canopy of leaves above her began to move, stretching out toward Eric, soon sheltering him and the path between the two of them. She approached him, walking with confidence and ease. She made no stumbles. There was a grace and elegance that only immortals possess. Pulling his inhaler from his pocket, he sucked deeply from it, trying to calm his breathing. The strange girl stopped to pace away, an inquisitive expression crossing her face for a moment, before turning into a smile.
"I like your eye circles."
Her voice poured over him like soft music, banishing the beat of the rain to the distance. It seemed to warm him up. He could feel the prickle of it all over, soft warmth like a roaring fire after the cold winter air. They're called glasses. They help me see, he responded weakly.
See what?
She inquired with an expression that left Eric sure that she could help him get a new body. This excitement caused his heart to race. A sudden wave of dizziness washed over him, causing him to stumble and fall. The world fading away, he saw the girl's arms encircle him, catching Eric before he kissed the ground once more.